So, welcome to the class. And if you didn't get the message earlier, we're going to start by being on a chair, but we're not going to stay on the chair for too long. We're going to come back down to the floor. But if you've got a nice, comfortable kitchen or dining room chair, it would be great if you can sit on it, because we are. Sue is saying she can't hear me. Is there anybody? Can you put your thumb up? Can you all hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, I think that must be you, Sue. Can you check your settings? That might be at your end. Where was I? Sorry, lost my thread. So, yes, we're going to continue with working with Muladhara, the root chakra, and we're going to actually be doing this for the whole of January. And as I explained, it's really important at these times because this is all about being grounded and embodied. And I think we all know, there's some challenges going on out there. We want to remain firm and secure and resilient in ourselves. And when we work with this chakra, that's exactly what happens. Now, I came across my old teaching notes from my teacher recently, which described the chakras. And I just want to read a little bit out to you because I think it just gives a little bit more information. I also want to just point out that I'm wearing a red jumper today. Now, some of you might know that red is the colour that's associated with Muladhara chakra. If you see me leaning forward, I'm just letting people in still. Yeah, red is associated with Muladhara chakra. So I also want to explain that in the yoga tradition I come from, we don't tend to use colours. It's something that's more like a new age thing. However, colour has vibration, and red is considered to be relevant for Muladhara chakra because it's a lower, denser energy. And when we talk about the root chakra, Muladhara, it is this denser, grounding energy, which is all to do with matter and for us to be here. And also, we cannot begin to elevate ourselves or raise our awareness or our consciousness. We can't really begin to get into our spiritual realms even, or open our heart, unless we're really grounded. And my feeling at the moment is there's a lot going on in the world which is trying to stop us being grounded, to take us away from ourselves, because this is all about coming back to ourselves and into our body. But the more grounded we are, the more secure we feel. So I'm just going to explain this a bit. So the Muladhara chakra is a place where we have many of our ancient feelings and sensations. It's a sacred place. Its function is the foundation for everything, as I just described. It's about feeling trust in yourself and in life. It's about feeling secure, and it's concerned with nourishment. It's also to do with elimination and letting go. Touch is very important for this chakra. So I'm going to read out a bit more in a minute, but I'd just like you to cross your arms and stroke down your arms, because we often think that we need somebody else to hug us or touch us. And of course we do. And I now live on my own. And that's one of the reasons I've got a pet, because I know the importance of that touch. We can also touch and hug ourselves. And that's why I quite often do these movements when we're chanting and hugging ourselves. So just a reminder that you can hug yourself. It's to do with motor functions, and physically it's to do with feet, legs, the large intestine, bones. And it's called the adhikara, that's a Sanskrit word meaning like the angel or the light of this chakra, is it's the right to be here. I have the right to be here. I have the right to be in my body. And this chakra is also about faith versus fear. So again, I know I'm always wanging on about how we get this fear being pushed at us now. But if we can really stay grounded, then we have more faith in ourselves, and we're not going to let whatever is whirling on the outside disturb our peace inside. Just one more thing I wanted to read before we start. And I'm always aware if I talk too much, it can be tiring, but I think it's really important to understand the chakras. If this chakra is too open, so the chakras can be too open or too closed, and we're concerned here with balance, it can lead to hoarding, over-consuming, grasping, the inability to let go because we feel secure with matter, so we want more and more matter. Afraid to change, afraid to commit, frequent health problems, exhaustion, chronic bowel problems, osteoporosis, lower back, eating disorders, constant ill health. So I'm sure that probably some of those apply to all of us, which is why it's really good to do some, I hate using the word work in yoga. I'm going to have to find another word, but this is why we're going to do a little bit of chanting and movements in this class. So with that said, and this morning, I'd just like to say that part of the practice I'm doing is from this book, Breathe, Rest, Recover, which is a book I wrote with psychotherapist Nadine McKee. It came out a year ago, and it's got lots about the chakras in it. It's got lots about breathing as well. And I use it for my own teaching still as a resource. So start by coming into your seated position and close your eyes if you're comfortable to do that. And just take a moment to explore and welcome yourself and just see how you feel. And the exploration is to see how you feel physically, how you feel emotionally, and how you feel mentally. And the most important thing is to try to be with all your sensations. So even if there's something difficult there, something challenging like grief or resentment or pain or fatigue, do your best to just sit with it for now, to allow it, because actually the only way out is through, and it's only by being with our more difficult stuff that we can help to process it. And what I'd like you to do is to really start to feel the connection of your feet on the floor or whatever your feet are resting on. So it's almost like you're inhabiting your feet. And think about the relationship of your feet with the floor. And the relationship of your feet with gravity and the earth. And just have this sense of the earth and the floor beneath you, supporting you, and the chair holding you and nourishing you. And just take a moment to feel into the support under the feet and also under your hips. And now I'm going to invite you to open your eyes. And what I'd like you to do is to just look around your space. So you're looking at your material objects and you're feeling that you are here now, present in this room. You're part of being here now. And then you can close your eyes again, but just have this sense of being here in your space, right here in the moment. And as I say, you're doing your best to not resist anything. And if anything is difficult that you have at the moment, emotions or pain or fatigue, you might like just to take one hand to the heart, just to support yourself. And you can just tap there. And now I'd like you to start to become aware of the rhythm of your breath. So again, we're not judging anything, we're just watching it, but just watch your natural breath rhythm, even with compassion. And then if you can, just slightly slow that breath rhythm down, but as long as there's no forcing, so everything is smooth and easy. And if you can, access it, breathe through the nose. And then, as always, we're going to remind ourselves of diaphragmatic breathing. So if you would like, one hand comes to the heart, the other just below the belly. I'll move back a bit if anyone is looking at the screen, but do remember you don't need to keep looking at the screen. And then you're going to breathe into the lower hand. So you're keeping the upper chest relatively still, and you're just breathing into that lower hand through the nose from the diaphragm. Don't make the breath too deep. It's more slow and low. And then again, drop your hands to your knees and take a moment just to observe if the breath has had any effect on you. Maybe it hasn't, that's all right, but it might have just subtly begun to affect, making you calmer, affect the mind in particular. And then we're going to do a little bit of optional chanting. So always remember that everything in this class is optional. You do what feels right for you, because I really want to encourage you to listen in and to use what feels right, your agency. So we're going to take the backs of our hands around the base of the spine to the Mula. So we're actually now touching Muladhara Chakra. So remember, Muladhara Chakra is this kind of band around the base of the spine. So just touching maybe your tailbone. Now, last week we chanted the seed mantra, which was Lam. Today, I mean, there's all kinds of different mantras associated with the root chakra. We are going to chant Shanti, which means peace, but it also is associated with Muladhara Chakra. And it's also, as well as peace, it's about nourishment. Now, of course, if your hands get tired and you want to rest them, please do. Keep your shoulders relaxed. And we're going to do this as call and response, but it's a chant most of you will be familiar with. So it goes like this. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You try that now, your own breathing rhythm, your own pitch. Once more. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And now again, just bring your awareness to your feet. And I'd like you to feel the temperature of your feet. And notice the texture under your feet. Maybe you're wearing socks, so just feel that texture. And then feel the texture and temperature of the support under you, under the feet. Feel if there's any sensation or vibration in the feet. And then see if you can develop a sense of gratitude for the earth holding you. Just a feel of that nourishment I was talking about. And as we did last week, you might like to visualize a taproot going down from your heel, down through your floor into the earth beneath you. As you breathe in, You're breathing up nourishment into your body, prana, universal life force energy. On the exhalation, that taproot can take away anything you no longer want. And then when you're ready, and if you would like, please come down to lying. You can remain sitting if you would like, of course. And you might choose to lie on the floor in Shavasana on your back, or equally, it's fine to be on a sofa or on a bed. This is a class 4 fatigue. So that means if you need to rest in a bed, or rest out, not look at the screen, please do what feels right for you. And just take some support under your head. And I always suggest you might start with the knees bent just to help to support the back. And then think about where you want to place your hands. So classically, they're away from the body with the palms turned up to help the shoulder to rotate out. But if that's too much for you and it's not comfortable, equally, you can place them down or on your belly if that makes you feel safer. And we're just going to rest a little bit, and then we're going to do some very gentle twisting movements. And again, the twists are optional. So as you're lying, just have this feeling again of exploring gravity and the sense of the earth holding you safely. And again, you might like to place your taproot in place, going down from your tailbone, down into the earth below. You might like to imagine that you've got a red blanket covering you very softly, bringing you safety and nourishment. And just take a moment or two to feel the weight of your body, particularly your head. Feel your back spreading and widening, and feel that support underneath where you are touching. And feel as if on every exhalation you are releasing more and more. And then being aware of the weight of the head, very slowly, just roll the head from side to side as slowly as you can. And as you are rolling your head, just be aware of the neck stretch in the opposite side and how it might feel different from one side to the other. Just observe that neutrally and kindly. And then centering the head. You're going to bend the knees now if they're not bent and draw the heels towards the buttocks. We're just going to do some very gentle twisting movements because this is a movement which is associated with this chakra. And it's also very good for toning up the body and kind of detoxing the liver. It has all kinds of stimulating and good effects. Please work gently. It's a very gentle posture, and rest out when you need to. So those of you that haven't been to me for a while or haven't been to me before, I really encourage you to work with kindness, to work by listening in, and to remember, I am not an instructor, I am a guide. And that means if you are tired and you need to rest, then that's of more benefit. If that's more beneficial to you, then you rest. So take your arms out with the palms turned up. And the arms are just below shoulder level, about in line with your collarbones. And you're just almost going to start by rocking the knees from side to side. So they're not going to come all the way down. I'm going to do this with you in case you're not sure and you need to look. All we're doing is gently rocking the knees from side to side. Keep the head centered for now. And just be aware of that tailbone, the Muladhara area as you rock. And then if you like, and it's not too much, on the next time you come towards the right, take the knees down a little further towards the right and roll the head to look over the left shoulder. And take a couple of breaths resting there with the knees towards the right, head looking over the left shoulder. If you want to place something under your knees, please do so. Keep the shoulders aligned on the mat. And then when you're ready, inhale and center the head and the knees. And then on the exhalation, you're going to go to the other side. So as you exhale, take the knees over, this time to the left, and the head rolls to the right. Take a couple of breaths on this side. And then come back to center the head, center the knees. And then do that once more to each side, if your energy is okay. So head and knees go in opposite direction, the shoulders stay aligned. You're focusing on the base of the spine. You take 2 breaths in the position, and then you do that to the other side. When you come back to center, hug the knees into the chest, rock out the spine from side to side, and just explore the rocking sensation and feel the sensation of the floor under your lower back. And remember, you can make small movements as you rock or larger ones. So just explore what feels nice for your body as you rock. And just feel the floor physically supporting you. And then just rest out for a couple of breaths. And again, observe how you're feeling emotionally, energy, mentally, physically, and bring a sense of kindness if you can, and tenderness to whatever is there. So you're not judging anything, you're just being curious and kind as you stay in the moment as much as you can with your whole being. And we're going to do one more asana or posture before we do our yoga nidra. And again, this is optional. We're going to try gentle back bend or the bridge. So again, just have your knees bent and turn your palms down beside you so the palms are beside the hips. And if you have anything under your head, maybe take it away. And again, just take a moment to inhabit the feet and inhabit the hands, and just explore the texture under your hands. So for me, that's my mat. So I'm just feeling the skin on my hands and the mat under my palms, and the same with the feet. Feel the weight of the feet and the hands. And then lift one foot and drop it. And then lift the other foot and drop it. And do that a couple of times. Again, this is just to make sure we're in our body and we're in our feet. Because when we've been ill, it's quite common for us to leave our body. So working with Muladhara chakra is bringing us back to the body. And then we're going to start with a pelvic tilt. So just pushing on the hands and feet, take the small of the back into your mat and then relax down. So we're rocking the pelvis up and down. If you're not sure, you can see how I'm just gently rocking my pelvis. And if you like, you can begin to explore the breath with this movement. So as you rock the pelvis in, that's an out breath. And the in breath is as the tailbone comes back towards the knees. So just small rocking movements. Exhale, inhale. And if you can't match the rhythm with the breath, that's fine too. And then pause. Again, just feel yourself in your feet, your hands, your tailbone. And then take a breath in. Push on your hands and feet as you begin to lift your pelvis up onto your shoulders. Keep your knees from drifting apart. Keep the chin into the chest, back of the neck long, and then on an exhale, roll down. Now, if that was enough for you, draw the knees into the chest, rock out from side to side, or if you feel you have the energy and you'd like to repeat that, press on the hands and feet, lift the hips to come onto the shoulders, keep the back of the neck long and the knees stable, keep that connection with anything that's touching the earth, and then you come out on an exhalation. And then again, just resting out, I'm going to suggest that you now get ready for our grounding earth yoga nidra practice. So for this, please gather any blankets, eye masks, cushions for under your head, under your knees, making sure you're warm and you won't be disturbed. And I'm just going to turn my camera off for a couple of, well, actually, I'll turn my camera off for the practice.